Hi everyone, this is Rachel Kayla, your fun and friendly Columbus, Ohio realtor, coming to you from my lovely office in Grandview Yard in Columbus, Ohio. And today I want to talk with you about whether you should love your current home or leave it. So which one is it, and how do you make that decision? So the first thing to consider is which option is more cost friendly for you. And the best way to do that is to meet with both a realtor and a general contractor to decide, in the case of meeting with a realtor, get a market analysis and also what we call a seller net proceeds sheet, which can take into account what your home is worth, but also what your costs will be in selling your home, because there are always costs. There are in title and taxes that you have to consider. There is, of course, the realtor commissions and possibly any improvements you may have to do before even putting it on the market. So you want to speak to a qualified realtor about that. And then you want to talk to most likely a general contractor about what costs would be involved in the kind of renovations you're considering, and compare the two and see which makes more sense for you. Next, you want to consider what your current housing market is. You want to look at how quickly do homes sell in your market, for what price range. If you have not been in your home very long, what kind of equity do you have in it? Does it even make sense to sell yet? You want to consider also for what the market is for the home that you're looking to move into. Are you likely going to sell fast but then have to wait a long time? It may take you a little longer to find that next home. So take a look at the current housing market, and you consult with your local realtor about that. They'll be able to help point you in the right direction and give you the information you need. The third thing to consider are your roots. How deep are your roots in this neighborhood and in this community? If you absolutely love the community, your kids are in school there, you're president of the homeowners association, you have block parties every week, everybody knows everybody else, and you love it, you may not want to leave. You may want to consider just looking at a remodel, because that can be, that sense of community and togetherness and that feeling of neighborhood, it can be difficult to find in a new place, and you may not be able to recreate that. However, if you don't have children, if your children haven't started school yet, if you don't really know your neighbors and you don't feel like that sense of community is that deep, or you want to move to a better school district, or you don't have an HOA and you want one, or you have an HOA and you don't want one, your roots may not be that deep, and you may be ready to consider moving to a new neighborhood. So that's another thing to consider. Number 4, this is a big one that sometimes people forget about. Will a renovation even solve the problem we have? Sometimes we think we can knock down a wall and we can't. Or we think adding a bathroom will be the simple solution, and it's not. So you want to really look at what is the issue with the home, what would need to be done, and is that even possible to be done? I think knocking out a wall is a great example. Open floor plans are very popular. That's how we live in our homes today. And if you're in an older home, it's likely you don't have that open floor plan. And knocking out a wall seems like it'll be easy. However, if it's a load-bearing wall, it suddenly becomes a huge issue. And is it worthwhile? Can you even do that? So that's where consulting with a general contractor, again, can really help guide you in the right direction to decide, will this renovation even help? The last thing to consider, this is my 5th point, that you want to consider when you're thinking about loving your home or leaving it, is your return on investment for the remodel. Again, this is going to take some information from a general contractor as well as a realtor to decide if you're going to get any kind of return on investment for the home improvements that you want to do or would choose to do. It may be that you don't, and that it would be easier and more cost effective to find an existing home that has what you're looking for rather than putting it into the home that you're currently in. This could be for a number of reasons. It could be because of just what the neighborhood demands that you're currently in versus another neighborhood. You never want to be the best home on the block. You never want to be the worst. And there are lots of ways to find that out. One thing that I do for my clients is there's something called a cost versus value report that a remodeling association puts out every year. And they even dig down into, you can get specific into what kind of ROI, return on investment, you can expect for home renovations in your specific area. So there we can look at in general in the US, we can look at Midwest versus Northeast, or we can get into metropolitan areas, and they do one specifically to my market, Columbus, Ohio, and they do them specific to many large markets as well. And I would be happy to send that to you if you're looking for that. And it does compare renovations, and it will tell you what the average cost of a bathroom remodel is versus what kind of return on investment you can expect. I'm gonna give you a little tip. I've been watching this report every year since I've been licensed, so over 5 years now, and I have only seen once where a home improvement gets you more than 100% return on investment. So that means, for example, a bathroom remodel may cost an average of $10,000. Maybe I'm just pulling numbers out of the air. Maybe that return on investment is 75%. So that's great. It's going to increase your home's value by 75%, but you are not going to, do not expect to recoup 100% or more of what you put into it. So take these things into account. I always say when you're remodeling, always consult with your realtor so you can make that return as great as possible, because an agent who knows the area and knows the neighborhood can tell you what the buyers are looking for in those homes, so you can make the smartest choice for your return on investment. Now, if you're planning on staying, you can, and you understand that your return's not going to be great, you can go as wild as you want, as long as you understand that you're doing those home improvements for you and you only, and you may never see the return of what you put in. On the other hand, I always say be smart about those investments and don't go too crazy, but do something that's going to add value to your home as well as make it more comfortable for you. So those are my tips of the 5 things you should consider. Which option is more cost friendly for you? What does the current housing market look like? How deep are your roots in that community? Will the renovation even solve the problem you have with the home? And what would be your return on investment, your ROI for the remodel if that's what you choose to do? Always consider talking to your local agent as you're considering these things, and they can help guide you in the right direction. Feel free to email me at rachel@rachelkayla.com, and you'll see it across the bottom there, and I will be happy to help you too. Please, if you find this video helpful, share it with your friends and family. If you know someone who is considering this, absolutely share it. Feel free to make comments below. I always like getting hearts, getting thumbs up and likes, and I look forward to speaking with you again soon. Bye.